Two, so what will happen is I'll share some points, you know, so I'll upload a photo and I'll give them my real photo, a clear one with no one else in the background, and I can they lock me out. Okay, we're reviewing your photo, and then they review it forever, and that's the end of that. And then I never see the account again, and there's nothing. It's gone.
Oh, wait.
But the good thing is, I've been I was one of those tinfoil hats, you know, 3 years ago, where I was saying, you know, you gotta watch your privacy, and you know, these pages are not good, and I've been trying to, like, get people off of them. So, you know, that's a big reason why I started Meme News, is so, and especially Meme News Underground, our newsletter, because we're not able to share on Facebook, we're not able to even talk to the fucking people. Like, the groups that you would go to speak to people about it, they lock you out, they kick you out of the group, they ban you, they harass you, I mean, that's like shit, you know, and then all these fake accounts. How the hell does anybody have a fake account nowadays if you're not a troll? Like, your accounts are constantly being deleted. It's just crazy. And then they want to act like you're overreacting, and I'm like,
hold on real quick. Hold on, it seems like our sound is being retarded, so let me try this again. Can y'all try
yeah,
it?
it is.
There it goes. Now we should be good. Hold on real quick. Hold on, it seems like our sound is being retarded, so let me try this. Boy, oh boy. Comical, as we're setting this up, you seen the sound wouldn't work with the laptop, with the speaker. I had to revert to the laptop. We get to going live, and I got to switch it back to the speaker now. But I do believe.
You think maybe I need a better speaker?
Nope, there it goes. The speaker is up and running now. They be playing games. Hey.
You think maybe I need a better?
All right, yep.
Nope, there it
I
goes.
just checked on the delay, and now we're up and good.
Cool.
Alright, so a lot of people have no clue about what Unity for J is, what Walk Away is, or what Walk With is. And a lot of people do not believe that censorship is really happening. So
yeah, because they're not saying anything, you know, it's really important. So that's why they're not being censored.
Oh, I guess let's start. I mean, and let's start and break it off right away with censorship and Walk Away and Walk With. And on this one, I'm gonna let you and Alex, take the reins on this one. To give people a better comprehension, a better gist of what.
I could just tell you what me and Alex have been through.
So, you want me to give like a background of it or so?
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be good.
All right, go ahead, Alex.
So basically, Walk Away, or hashtag Walk Away, is a movement that was created by,
there's an echo.
And he is a gay hairdresser from New York. Now, the reason I mentioned was gay was because
we're gonna have to fix the sound, guys.
Alright, hold on real quick.
I can't.
Let me figure this out. Hold on, there seems to be an echo, so give me just a moment.
Yeah.
Let me see here.
You know, it's strange how some people have like break speed live streams, you know, and others don't.
Don't sound weird on your end.
I know I gotta figure out which. Alright, let's try this now.
Show the genuine factor up here.
Let's see now if this helps it some. Alright, go ahead and try now. Tell me if it's coming, how's it coming through?
It's the same.
Hold on, let me see something.
Right?
Let me see, hold on.
Alright,
Alright, go ahead and try now. Tell me if it's coming, how's it coming through?
It sounds like
That's odd because
techno music.
it's odd because when I'm listening to it through my phone, there's no echo at all.
Hey, do I need headphones? Sounds like
That's odd because. Oh wait a minute! You say it sounds like techno music. There's a delay, so you gotta keep in mind there is a delay.
Hey, do I need headphones?
Because the music I play at the beginning, the intro music. There's a delay, so you might.
No, I think it's because I hear myself playing back. Yeah. I'm just like.
Yeah, because I'm looking. Yeah, in the comments it says, "Yeah, man, the sound's okay on your voice, but it's glitching on the voices of other people talking." So it's letting me talk, but then when y'all try to talk, it's trying to act all brand new and act all bougie real quick. Yeah, man, the sound's okay on your voice, but it's glitching on the voices of other people talking. So it's letting me talk, but then when y'all try to talk, it's trying to act all brand new and act all bougie real quick. Oh, it's probably, I know what it is, Sarah. Like when it streams like this, there's a slight delay. So what's probably going on is as you're listening to yourself, you're listening and thinking as you're talking currently. I guess I've gotten used to the delay to a point where like the delay, it doesn't register to me.
I'm new to live streaming.
You're good.
I'll get used to it.
Alright, and now they said that they can hear you clear now, Sarah. So there we go. We seem to be up and running now.
I'm new to live streaming.
You're good.
Walk away.
Alright, and now they said that they can hear you clear now, Sarah. So here we go. We seem to be up and running now.
Okay, so Walk Away is a movement that was created by a called the Anti-Violent Majority. And the founder of that did with Brandon. I forgot his last name. Movement that was created by but he is a hairdresser from New York. And he made this movement because of the genuine actions that the left has a habit of doing. How it basically was able to self-destruct itself after 2016 and created this humongous divisiveness throughout the entire party and ideology. Have a Walk Away is all about people talking about it prior to.
You're glitching out real heavy, Alex.
Yeah, like I can't hear this at all. I have not heard one word. Like accurately.
For some reason,
it's glitching so much. So it's not. I can't even hear it.
Like you're coming through, Sarah. I mean, it's glitching somewhat on you, but you're coming through clear. But it's like Alex's connection is just
kind of hampering.
I don't know. It's weird, and it's.
Ended and started again.
It's not me.
Yeah, listen, they tried. They got some shrewd games when it comes to blocking sound and blocking feeds. Trust me, I've learned to be like.
It's okay. I got nowhere to be.
When I remember when I very first started doing live streams, they would get so shrewd with it, and I was so blatant that I would like blatantly brag about, oh, y'all tried to stop me. I got a trick for y'all. So like when they first started hitting feeds of mine, I started using like screen sharing software and going around it. Like now, on my phone, on the phone, I got the software that goes around and it automatically records my screen and live streams it to Facebook and YouTube.
We're getting smarter.
Oh yeah.
We're getting more organized. Yeah.
I see Alex popping in and out.
I'm proud of you too because you got your website now and you're like. I mean, we're doing good.
Oh yeah, I mean it's a lot of work. I mean, and it can get hard to be honest. It really can. I mean, for me, it took realizing that this ain't even something you can even do part time. I mean, you got to do it full time. It's
how's this?
There is no part time for me. I think it was like 2.5 years ago, maybe 3 years ago now. Man. Can't believe time flies.
Oh yeah, Alex, go. You there, Alex?
Yeah.
All right, try coming a little bit closer to your mic so I can try and see if I can pick up the sound better. They do not like letting Alex go live for shit.
They don't like him for shit. They don't like me for shit or you for shit.
Oh, look, I know they don't like
And
me.
it's just funny.
It's my Wi-Fi is acting up.
I'm just too stubborn to let them win. Like, I'd be at their neck.
Yeah.
So, I guess...
Like, when I left Facebook, and I was like, fuck Facebook. I was like, they're fucking assholes. They take me off every single day. Like, it was getting to, like, every day my page was deleted. Like, I was not allowed to have a Facebook for shit. So I started, and I took a few days off, and then I started another account called Tim Allen. And added people, like, slowly, like, casually, and I put in the bio, like, pro-Bernie stuff, and Putin, some stuff, like, blaming, and tried to make it look like a little kooky Bernie support, you know, because I said, well, if I have an account under my name, and they don't like it, and they believe me, so obviously that means I'll try another name, and I'll try, what I've been doing is infiltrating these groups, because they don't want to block anybody out there that speaks against the DNC. Like, no shit. Because all the admins are, like, DNC trolls, you know, the people that, like, protect the DNC, and they have these fake accounts, and they promote every day, like, they're paid promoters for the DNC. And I've called them out so many times, and that's a big reason why I'm censored so much, because I'm confronting these people and they don't like it. Like, the day that I confronted Nina Turner, that night, I posted the video, and then by morning, my page was deleted. Never saw it again. And that was the account that had my wedding video on it, so I'm so upset. But I learned back up my files every day.
Oh, yeah. That is a huge lesson I've learned. I actually lost my previous laptop because I got to being too nosy and digging into too much and playing around too much with the Tor network, and I didn't use my laptop for about a good 2-3 weeks, maybe a month, and went to plug it up and use it when I first got Wi-Fi installed in this apartment after we moved in here, and it was over. Like, the laptop wouldn't even power up. It's like, oh, these bitches bagged me.
Estella, you are welcome here anytime. Like, you need to come over right now. We can hang out. I'll show you we can go to the Lentil Festival. There's a Lentil Festival here.
Yep, we can hear you, Alex. Glad to have you back with us.
Okay, cool. I finally nailed it down. Okay, cool.
All right.
All right.
There we go.
Sorry about that.
Oh, no, listen, you good. You listen, you know how it goes. I mean, they don't want more than one. They already don't want one of us, I mean, speaking about this. So imagine how much they don't want.
They don't want us live streaming.
So imagine how
fun is that?
Yeah, imagine exactly.
Want you to live stream.
Imagine just how much they despise seeing three of us on a live stream together. Like, they gonna try their best.
Hey, this was one of us. No.
You want to see my wall?
Oh, that's dope. And Floyd, you're absolutely right. I mean, like, losing that first laptop taught me some things about some security, so it made me, go ahead and polish up on something. It was what it was. It was a great learning experience, though, because it was like, ooh, y'all got me. I got to get y'all back now. Right back ain't cheating.
If you don't have this, you need to have your camera covered.
Oh, yeah. Man, listen, I don't know. I guess for me personally, I'm just so solid with it. I feel like this. I ain't got no reason to hide. Like, y'all want to look at me? Look at me. I don't care. Because at the very base of it, from the way I'm able to comprehend it, I shouldn't have a reason to be afraid of speaking, the truth, or speaking what I'm coming across, because that's supposed to be what we're able to do. So for
And though, if we bring people together, they'll realize that.
exactly, I mean that's what I try to do as much as I can. So earlier when I was talking with
that's a good entrance to the Unity for J project.
Let's go.
They are nonviolent. They are supporting direct action, direct digital action, and they have this call for all artists and graphics and techies and anybody, whatever you can come and contribute your skills are, and then they assign you a task or a general idea.
So,
and it's so cool because everybody can work together on Discord, and me and Alex tried that once. We tried to get people to come on Discord for the DNC fraud protest, and we just I don't know, I think we just didn't follow through on it. We tried, but we got busy with the other things. But that's what they're doing. They're using Discord, and it's already massive. They have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of supporters. I think it might even be thousands, but I'm not sure. Probably. I think last night it was like...
What's happening, Alex?
Oh, look.
Uh-oh. He froze again.
But anyway, you can go to Unity 4, the number 4, J.com, unity4j.com, and find out about it. It's really cool. And I think it's an opportunity for us to really stand up for Assange because we want to do something about it. We benefited greatly from his efforts, and I think it's going to be big. This is going to be big.
All right. So, Alex, you here, bub?
Yeah.
All right. So, we broached what Unity 4J was. Why don't you bring us up to speed and give everybody a good overview and a good comprehension of exactly, what walk away and walk with are, and go ahead and share how you came into it and what it means to you. And this is going back to our earlier conversation when me and you were on the phone as we were sitting here talking, and my wife, was speaking her perceptions off of our conversation. It kind of gave me a good baseline to see where, people are taking what we're saying, what this all means to be. So let's give them a good, an overall comprehension of it.
So what did it kind of work for me?
Walk away.
Okay. All right. So I want to give a little bit of a baseline for a lot of people. Most people in this whole walkaway movement are, they're either a Democrat or a liberal. I was a unaffiliated voter for the majority of my life until 2016. I became Democrat to the primary for Bernie. And then when he didn't win the primary, I voted to sign in the primary for Bernie.
All right.
Then afterward, I started working with a lot of DNC and liberal think tanks in Jersey, and the whole how they had was with hate. We're gonna hate because we can. At entire time, I had this idea. Well, let's wait and see what happens. No, we're just gonna hate him just because he is obviously that person. He is totally not a good person. And he's just going to do the bidding. And I didn't like that. it felt like they're just saying something.
It's picking you up.
Guys, I still can't hear hardly anything.
Alex, it's picking you up, but it keeps glitching you out. Like, I don't know. It's like you got like a poor signal.
How's he come? How's he come?
You there, Alex?
Interesting.
It is. It's interesting because like it'll pick up me and Sarah, and it's like as soon as you get to talking, it'll just start glitching like no other. It's weird.
Let's see this. There we go. It doesn't like me.
I see. They at your neck today.
The struggle is real.
Ain't it? Ain't it?
The struggle is real. The struggle is real. The struggle is real.
Oh man.
The struggle is real.
So I was going.
Now I'm fucking with y'all. Sorry.
So
You're turning it up? Oh God.
Trying to catch him.
One of the things I remember really what back in 2017, how things started progressing. It became this downward spiral of more and more increasingly radical mentality.
SMH Fairbook. I guess we picked a wonderful night to expose censorship because we seeing this live and in person, y'all. This is live censorship.
Yeah, you just experiencing it. Let's just live stream and let's just talk and go see.
Bug it.
Well, at this point, I've probably done at least 6 of the 10 bad words that are done.
Do you guys realize how bad it is when 3 people are trying to talk and can't?
Yeah, that's it's just wow.
Like, can't, I mean, that's serious shit. Like, that people need to know this.
I don't know if you guys, but so far I think I've said at least 6 of the 10 heat words determined by.
Hey, do you guys want to try a different program or something? Does that help?
What's that?
I don't know. I don't know anything.
I mean, honestly, it's them trying to bag it because it's like it's picking and choosing who to shoot a shot at. On my end, I'm coming through clear. You're coming through clear. And for some odd reason, it's like Alex at his neck right now because we'll be fine like this. And the moment Alex goes to talk, it's like they just want to start throwing glitch in after glitch. I don't know why. But
sounds like a tangible thought to.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so can you hear me? I can tell you a little bit of what I know of walkaway.
Let's go.
And how it associates with me personally. So I did a walkaway video on my Twitter today, and I posted it on my page and on the Me News page, and y'all can watch it if you want or not. I don't know there, but it basically I said my walkaway in. I support it because it was not made by somebody that's a fraud. I don't believe that this guy's a fraud. I feel like he left the Democratic Party for good reasons, and he's stated why so many times. I mean, there's so many videos of why he left now, and he had valid reasons to. And the DNC, they're gaslighting people. They gaslight through the media every single day. All the media's work for most of the DNC. There's a few that show the fake opposition on the right.
He doesn't like me for some reason.
Well, won't be the last person who don't like you.
It feels like I'm like in some form of cyberpunk movie, the ones where it's like you have like a rebellion movement and there's like this broken tape where you have to watch and it's always kind of like staticky and they're like joining the resistance and then it cuts out.
Yeah.
It's like it almost sounds like that.
So on my end, you mean like walk this whole walk away and walk with thing, it was kind of just like, I don't know, it's that gut intuition. Me personally, I guess I never really too much was really involved in politics. I mean, once I got old enough to be able to vote, I always voted Democrat because that's what my mom voted. That's what my dad voted. That's what it seemed to be. Except
oh, my parents were Republican.
It seemed to be kind of the social.
My mother made me take a sign and staple it to a board and protest abortion clinics. She had her daughter protesting against abortion clinics. And so that's part of where I have an issue. Like, I've called out some politicians that were Democrats and used children in improper ways to promote their campaign. And that's, no. Don't use your fucking children. Like, my mother made me do something that I didn't want to do, and I didn't even know that I didn't want to do that, but I grew up and I was like, wait a minute, I can't believe that parents do that. And so,
I'll be honest, Obama's first trip, I voted for him. Shake my head and hang my head in disgrace, like, what the fuck? Why did I do that? But YOLO, you live and you learn. Second trip around,
I almost voted for Bernie. I almost got Bernie into the White House.
I mean, second trip around,
like, I'm trying to make up for that now by, saying we were wrong. We promoted something that was a fraud.
Second trip
and
around.
We're awake now. We're not, buying this bullshit anymore. So it's like we're in a situation here where people are realizing that you can tell a politician no, directly go up to them and say, no, I don't approve of what you're doing. Like, they didn't know that. Like, even people that support Democrats, they didn't even know, like, in the way, oh my God, when I do a DNC fraud protest and I see all these Democrats bonding over these people, like Nina Turner, and like they're like obsessed, and they're like, oh, thank you, Nina, for being here. Oh, you're an angel. And then, like, if you go there showing any opposition at all, they cut you out. They tell you to turn your camera off. They hover around, the person like a tree trunk, to protect the inner core of the evil. It's crazy. And so a big part of the DNC fraud is creating media showing that you can't really oppose the DNC. There's no real opposition. And so I'll literally like take a pedestrian email like showing that the DNC doesn't have any opposition, and they know that, and they're like, there's my email where it even says like they have like no real opposition. They're creating it. They created you and me and all of us, or whoever's put it Bernie, they made us do that. Like, they manipulated us, and it needs to stop. It's got to stop.
Now, Estella Jordan said no one has a right to use another's body for their gain. And that is actually a very true statement. Yeah. And it's actually, that exact statement right there is actually what's happening. And for me personally, I've taken a lot of deep dives into a lot of controversial subjects, and I've come to the realization and able to even shed light on that. You have to show how this is all connected. So that's kind of what I mean. That's what I'm starting out with, is showing how all of this is the driving force behind politics. A lot of people probably have never picked up and read Albert Pike's Dogmas and Morals. I haven't read all of it. But one thing I've done is in digging into all this, I decided not to just be like all the Masonic people in the Illuminati are evil. I decided to get an understanding or a comprehension. Alex knows about this. I refuse to use the term understanding. There's some deep metaphysical ties said, so I decided to get a comprehension of where their thinking is. Just like in Sun Tzu's The Art of War, he says, And Sun Tzu was a great Chinese tactician. He says, if you know yourself and you know your enemy, you are sure to win every battle. So, okay, as I'm learning myself to figure out, what I'm facing and how to defeat this, I got to know my enemy. So I started digging through their texts and I started diving deep. And as I started, which is kind of the reason for, the name of the website, Diving Deep. But as I started doing this, as I started going through the material, I could see how this material was used to create systems, that you are used to control us. And it's interesting because Albert Pike's most known book is called Morals and Dogma, which dogma merely is another way of saying belief systems. So religion, politics, these concepts of race, all of this, these are different forms of dogmas that they use to keep us divided and segregated, to pit us against each other.
Yeah. So any opportunity that we have to unite each other and show like real media showing that we're working together, that put our different views on camera, that's vital. I hate being on camera, but I'm doing it because I feel like I need to. And I hope that people will see that and want to unite, want to collaborate more. And I think we're heading in a great direction. I think all of us are getting our official websites and getting our content off of social media in a more protected state, so I think we're wising up. And we see that, so we don't need to explain it anymore,
Oh, yeah, definitely. And speaking of your dislike of being on camera, we got to give Deb a special thanks for convincing you to, come back to the book. Like, we owe Deb a big thank you for that.
Honestly, it didn't take much. It didn't take much. She texted me and was like, then she posted on Facebook and she said, "You not leaving me here on this hill? You can shut the fuck up."
Get her, Deb. Get her.
Yeah. If I could be completely...
that was all she wrote.
Damn, Alex, they are at your neck. They are at my man Alex's neck. Y'all see this shit live and in person. Ooh wee. For any of y'all who
I'm gonna see. Oh. Alex is coming out in October for our DNC fraud protest. I'm so excited.
Oh, smacks.
I haven't really planned it yet. I'm still working on it. But it's still kind of early. Like, it's in October. So we have to kind of wait and see what kind of activities they're going to be hosting, and pick the best one, like the one that's best for what we want to achieve.
Now, I've noticed, in comments and like when I've shared posts from the GNC fraud, a feedback that I've gotten is people will be like, and even me myself, I'm able to comprehend that neither Democrat nor Republican mean us any good. And people, the feedback I've received is they're like, well, why are you focusing on the DNC? And for that,
okay, that's a fabulous question.
Exactly.
Okay, and I've been actually working on this because I've seen this happening. I've seen that question a lot, and I've explained it to people a lot, one-on-one, and that's really been the best, most efficient way to get people to understand. The one-on-one is a more personal. But anyway, so I tell people, this instantly when I tell them like any crimes of the DNC, I have a document that says it's called 136 reasons why the DNC needs to be shut down, and it's a badass document, and it's available on the DNC fraud protest website for people to download and take to their local Democratic Party and ask them about any of the content on there, and it's even sourced, like, to the T. I advise everybody that's watching to go download that. But anyway, so, where were we at? I lost my train of thought.
The feedback we have received are people are wondering if both sides of the political system are...
Okay, tell me how, this is what I'll tell them. Tell me how working to shut down the DNC in any way validates the RNC.
If I may have a word for a second.
Go ahead, Alex.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to go into this by a purely philosophical point of view.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to be quoting one of the greatest statesmen the United States has ever had, Thomas Jefferson.
Let's get it.
I can't hear you, but
Hold on.
it's brilliant.
He said Thomas Jefferson. He's going to quote Thomas Jefferson. Hold on. Go ahead, Alex.
Thomas Jefferson said during a session of Continental Congress, beware of wars. Beware of factions. Because during the early years of the United States, there was no party system. You had the Federalists that were kind of trying to build a centralized system, and then you had the anti-Federalists that were trying to make a decentralized system. Of course, the anti-Federalists actually got their wish with the creation of the Articles of Confederation. But we all know what happened to that. That just collapsed everything.
Can the people watching hear?
Hold on.
Articles of Confederation.
Yes.
But we all know what happened.
Yes. They can hear him.
Okay, you know what's really weird?
What's happening?
Y'all are going to make me look so great for saying this, but my screen just scrolled up on its own.
Listen, not weird at all, because I experienced that and a whole lot of other shit a lot of times. I've gotten used to it to where I just be like, all right, y'all want to keep playing? I don't let it interrupt me. I swear.
Yeah.
Listen, Sarah, it gets trippy. I mean, like, I've had, just the other day, you know what I mean, like how I've got my laptop and my phone tethered together. Just last week, I was going to show, you know what I mean, people at work something with my laptop. So I had it set up to do so. And when I went to access my laptop, you know what I mean, my speaker was turned off. But when I came home from work that day, I get home and my camera was up and running and I hadn't turned it on. So, it happens. It's kind of one of them you just...
And you know...
Go ahead.
The CIA does that. Like, you already know.
Here's my personal belief on that. And I mean, I've spent enough time in enough jail cells to where I've taken the name maximum limiters for a reason. So they don't intimidate me with that. That shit don't intimidate me. I mean, what can they really do?
I'm not intimidated either. I don't care. I don't care. And I feel like I've already gone out there. I've already put myself out there. So I feel like if people don't support me and what we're doing, you know, it's nothing I can do about it. You know.
Do you guys want to hear something amusing?
Go ahead, Alex. Let me pop you back up. Go ahead.
You know one of my screen names, Laura Lexi?
Uh-huh.
I had that for about, I would have to say, at least 7-8 years before Russia ever became this thing. So everyone's like, oh, you're a Russian bot? But I've had it since, like, high school. And that was back in 2008, 2009.
Estella Jordan, you know, you have hit on some very, you know what I mean, pertinent details. But this is one of them where it takes building, you know what I mean, to be able to address this. I mean, this is a subject, that's a subject where you can't just dive into because the average person has no knowledge base to build, you know what I mean, to comprehend and digest all of this. So this is where you have to be able to get a starting point to be able to get somebody's attention and their mind to be able to open their mind up to start seeing the truths and start digging through and finding out what about history was a lie or a partial truth. And that's part of what, that's part of what,
I had to relearn everything.
That's part of, I mean, what I myself am personally doing, because from all the research and all the digging I've done, I've come to find out, that at the end of it, this country that we live in was honestly a part of the very elite This was part of their in-game strategy. This country is crucial to their in-game strategy. And what's even more ironic is the things that we're seeing happening right now. Like, if you look in the media, in the mainstream media, what they're portraying as the biggest threats to America are China and Russia.
Yep.
Well, what's very interesting about this is when you get to digging into the occult and the esoteric material, they talk about this country falling and the next rising superpowers being China and Russia. So it's very, very interesting, man. But it takes building
and
to
I'm
that
just
point.
telling you, I know this may sound crazy, but you guys need to realize that they're eventually going to be, doing articles about us saying, like, they're going to eventually say that our media is bad. And that's what they're trying to do with the Russian narrative. Like, they did in CUK. There was a journalist and our producer, it was Charlie Mole. And he contacted me through a mutual Facebook friend that I had helped out and made them a graphic. And he gave him my email. So the guy emailed me and he said, "Hey, I'd really like to talk to you about Seth Rich. This guy said you knew a lot about him, and we're making a video called Murder in Washington. And they're like, you can sign this reality until it's released, just so you know." I think that was well, like to sign that, and then he came to our DNC fraud protest in November of 2017, filmed it all. I literally handed him a binder of all the DNC crimes that I had documented to that date, and I had it like in a binder with like page like and source and everything. So, and I handed it to him and said, "Here." And I said, "Here's the website too," and it was on the page I handed them. That document, that huge document, was also online for you to look at the separate investigation and look at all the things that I kind of archived. And I use it every day. Like, I use the DNC fraud and news page every day to like reference stuff because people just don't know. And so I'll get a lot of people contacting me, asking me for sources and stuff, and asking me to make memes and look up things for them, and to sometimes they kind of treat me a little bit like an attack dog. I feel like sometimes you get used to it. It just goes with the cause. But anyway, I lost my train of thought. Let's go.
You gotta smoke some more. So,
man, I smoked all.
Being that I made the choice to, walk away from my job and give this up, and pursue this full time. Money kind of tight. I gotta rebudget and I gotta, get some refinancing going. But for me, there were multiple reasons behind why I decided to walk away from my job. One, I wanted to be able to give my all into, my passions. But two, as I've dug into things, one thing I've come across is so many people talk about how Tesla's work got covered up and stuff like that, and how Tesla got buried. Well, if you look at it, Tesla, the main way that they were able to bury Tesla is because he derived his funding from the very system which he became a threat to. The elite financed him. So when he became too much of a threat to the elite, they were able to pull the money from him and shut him down. So as I really comprehended and digested that, it made me decide that screw this. I'm not about to depend on, a system to get me to the next level or to get me there. I'm about to, if I got to do it by my own blood and sweat and tears.
We were in Washington D.C. at a pot shop. And we were excited because it was my first time buying it and we go in there and they tell us how she's a Democrat because, of course it came up. I talk about DNC fraud everywhere. And she said that, I support Democrats because they were pro-weed. They pushed these weed shops. And they said, so you support terrorists because they let you sell weed at this job that you probably make minimum wage at. That's worth supporting terrorism. And of course, she was just like, you know. And then we started said something kind of cool that made it all copacetic. But I think I'm just super abrasive with people. They don't. I'm on a whole other level. Like, I made it to the next level.
Oh yeah, I mean, and there's levels to everything. I mean, like,
yeah,
it's amazing. But Mike had farted. Jason Meadows, Bub, you are absolutely right. I mean, that's something else. I mean, I'm gonna go into it. I mean, more and more as time goes on. But we got to get you on one of these with us. It's been a long while since you done popped on a live stream, Bub. So I know you be having troubles. I mean, there's a lot of things in your home life keep you from it. But one of these days, we got to bring you back. We got to bring you back.
Hey, but the thing is, you never stop all three of us. All three of us. I'm positive, without a doubt, all three of us are going to be the final, final frontier. Like, we will not give up no matter what.
Yeah, you mean, the only thing...
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that.
You said you didn't hear that, Alex?
I couldn't hear that over the echo.
This thing wants to keep playing with me. Let's try this again. Hold on. All right, go ahead, Sarah. Now Alex is echoing.
What?
I guess Alex picked up echo, so hold on, let me check the volume on. This thing wants to keep playing with me. Let's try this again. Hold on. It's weird as shit, because like when either one of y'all will say that there's an echo, I mean, when I go and I check it from my phone right here, like right here, and I'm listening to it.
I'm gonna try something.
Like, hold on, watch this. I'm gonna go ahead.
No. It's because when like Sarah's talking, Anthony, your thing will register and it'll kind of bounce off yours.
Okay, I get it.
Oh, my husband's so reliable. I have the most reliable husband.
But you look at the right?
He ties up all
Both of them will
his things,
go off.
so it's so easy.
I get what you're saying now, Alex. All right. Yeah, we're gonna have to get a mixer for this eventually, just to make it easier, less button pushing. But I got a trick for their ass.
Oh boy.
Is anybody even watching this?
On my end, look at my phone. We got 5 people viewing, and but I know.
Woohoo! Yeah.
I know that's
here.
Well, I've got it on the screen share so
See on my phone.
6 people, and it's not letting me see who the 6 people are. But also, I've learned that I've also learned that when it tells me a count, that half the time the count be off. It don't want to never tell me how many people really watching.
Yeah. Okay. So like the mean news page and the DNC fraud page I've been doing mean news for 2 years and DNC fraud for 1. And I don't see accurate data on there. I don't even look at it.
Yeah,
there's no point. It's a joke.
Yeah, I ignore it. I mean, it is what it is.
I just worry about. I just do the work, and put the content out. I don't worry about that. They can either watch it or not. They can share it or not. They can participate or not. But I'm gonna do it.
Exactly. So.
And I think that makes people mad because they act like, oh, I feel superior, and I don't feel superior. I feel like you're treating me inferior,
I mean, it's all about coexisting, though. It's all about, everybody.
Yeah.
We seem
like people tell me, oh, I've actually lost friends because I'm against people hating on Trump supporters. Why are you trying to be more divisive? You're literally doing what you're saying you're not doing, when you don't allow people the opportunity to support who they want to support, that's not progress. If you don't allow opposition, that's not progress. You got to have opposition. So that's what I do. I create opposition, and they don't like it, and that's why I get censored. And that's the shit of it.
I guess you mean when it comes to opposition and opposing the current system. For me personally, I've had to come to this comprehension. I've had to understand that one, we see that the system is totally flawed. But instead of taking the outlook that the system doesn't work, you have to get to the comprehension and the realization that the system actually is working beyond optimally perfect. It's working the exact way it was meant to work. It was meant to create these divisions and to segregate us and separate us to make it easier to control. Back to Sun Tzu. Mm-hmm. The easiest way to control a population is to divide and conquer them. And this is exactly what these systems do. Think about it. And this.
And, okay, back to your question earlier. I wanna answer it about why I do the DNC fraud protest. And I tell people I have no issues with doing an RNC fraud protest. And I say, would you like to help me? It's a big commitment. It's a lifetime commitment. I promised people that on my life I would not quit until they shut them down. So the people that support me, they know without a doubt that I told them I will not quit. That's why I'm still fucking back on Facebook, even though I don't like it, but I'm going to do it. Because I know that I can still connect with people on here. And it's just helpful right now. I say revolt, but revolt strategically. So I'm using Facebook, but I'm only using it for situations like this to share videos. And then I get the fuck off, and I don't bother with these trolls anymore because they're beneath us. They're beneath us to bother with that. If you want to act a fool and say some crazy pro-establishment shit, I'm gonna block you, and because you're not helpful. You know what I mean? You're just here to hold us back. So that's and I've gotten a lot more work done now that I kind of ignore those people and I don't let them bring me down or get me upset or flustered, and I'm a lot more zen. And anyway, so I tell them, you're welcome to start an RNC fraud protest, and I show them what I do with the DNC fraud, and I show them how to do it, or I try to give them that information, and they're like, oh, I don't want to do that. I don't want to. They don't want to shut the RNC down. They want to be whiny bitches and support terrorism. So, as Deb would say, shut the fuck up.
I think it ties.
I'm over it.
I think it ties into some deep, for lack of better words, social programming that has been instilled in our society.
We're all programmed, and we're deprogramming ourselves every day.
Do they talk about the Shadow Civil War?
About the what, Alex?
The Shadow Civil War?
No, I have not even broached that topic yet. Why don't you go ahead and run with the ball, Alex?
Okay, so basically, we have right now, which is so unique, is that you have the old guard, politically, excuse me, the old guard establishment fighting the new guard establishment.
Can anybody hear Alex?
Yep, I got him on audio on the
I can't hear him.
Politically.
I'm able to hear him on the phone.
The old guard establishment. You guys can hear me?
You want to call him, maybe? Can you call him?
Hold on quick.
Yeah, hi.
Can I use your phone for a minute?
What?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, bub. I got you.
Oh, no, I'm in 15 minutes since we're here today.
I got you, bub. Hold on.
I am being silly today.
Bingo. I got you, Alex. Hold on. We're going to try this a little different, too.
Alright. So, probably the simplest way I can go without getting way too divisive, you have the old establishment, which is just a bunch of crony government establishment. You have the American form of the aristocracy. The Obamas, the Clinton, the Bushes, Kane, Pelosi, Schumer, so on and so forth, who have basically had a chokehold on the United States for the better half of 30 years, if not more. And then when you finally get down to, you realize that they are not the puppet master, but they are just another Pinocchio in the long line of marionettes.
Get him, coach. Get him.
So then you go into the whole concept of astroturfing, where now you find out that these people are controlled by massive bankers, corporate interests.
I mean, there's proof of it in the DNC, the Podesta emails. There's literally like so much collusion. I mean, it's just a wealth of information. You know, that's why we gotta support Assange. I mean, they're gonna snatch him any day now. Like, he is in serious threat right now of being removed from the embassy. So we gotta go to unity4j.com and check it out. It's a peaceful, direct digital action.
Woo! I'm gonna have to respectfully disagree with you on this stuff.
Uh-oh, first debate. Let's go.
Oh, shit. Let's go.
Because think about it. Trump never would have been elected if the Podesta emails ever came out.
Oh, yes. Y'all.
Yeah, we would have had Hillary.
Hold on. Time out real quick, you two. I see what's about to happen.
So, and remember, every time 45 was talking about it, he would normally mention WikiLeaks. Thank you for letting this stuff out.
Yeah. He was playing into it, and he played into the Russia bullshit, and I see that happening, like, live, you know, seeing it happen right in front of me, and nobody's seeing it. And I'm like, he is fucking playing everybody.
He knows.
He's acting stupid. And he's, like, pushing a little bit of Russia propaganda out and then pulling it back. The same thing the DNC does. They push a little propaganda and then they pull back. Like Donna Brazile, she said, oh, it was rigged. And then, it's not rigged. You know, they say whatever they want to say because nobody holds them accountable. And it's getting to the point that it's ridiculous.
So, the reason I'm going to go into the camp of that the United States is probably the safest place for him is because the European Union has all these laws about free speech. You have, like, for instance, Tommy Robinson in the UK, who was being arrested for doing free press. And you have places like France and Germany and all over Europe and Asia, Africa, Australia. You have press people who are being arrested for reporting news. So that's why I'm kind of going, he might be safer here because we actually have laws specifically talking about free press.
Yeah.
That way he could be reported, he could be protected under the First Amendment, under the free press clause.
Yeah.
Now, go ahead, Alex.
And then, think about it. What would be the best way to thank somebody who's been fearing for his life? I'm gonna leave it at that, guys.
I can't hear you. I tried. I can't hear you.
He said, what would be the best way to thank somebody for saving their life?
No fear for their life.
I don't know. Where did that come from?
All right, so
Assange being in the embassy for such a long time.
Now what I'm gonna do?
Okay, say the question again.
What would be the best way to thank somebody who's been fearing for their lives and hiding in the embassy?
You mean in regards of Julian releasing the emails and preventing a Hillary president? Is that what you mean?
Yes and no.
Okay. For the intervening yes no.
Well,
you would stand up for them. You would see what they need, and you would find a way to help them. Especially if they put themselves at risk to help you. So you put yourself at risk to save them.
Exactly.
And, that's what we're all doing. Yeah.
So think about it. So the emails really helped 45 in the election, right? He is now the most...
I'd say more importantly, they exposed what our government is.
Exactly. All right?
Not about who they helped, that they're going to temporarily... The people that are scared about the RNC rising to power with the shutdown of the DNC, okay, we have to understand that the Republicans might benefit temporarily, but if they are as corrupt as we believe they are, then we can put out a document, we can put out the proof, and we can organize, just like we're doing with the DNC fraud, and by that time, which I believe the largest group in this country that we could unite together are people that oppose the DNC. I believe that's the biggest grouping of people in this country, so I feel if we unite the largest group, then we can go after and use that large group. We'll be, organized by then. And that's why I want to commend the Unity for J project, because they've organized on Discord, and me and Alex tried that before, and it is hard. I think we have to build our audience more, and then we're going to try that too and go to Discord and start uniting people and getting people to support DNC fraud and maybe even mean news. And we just have to learn from what's happening right now and, improve our strategies. I think personally, let me say this real quick. I think personally why I was censored so much is because I was going into the Bernie groups that have been co-opted by the establishment. And I've been posting content trying to wake them up and get them to interact with us and get them to answer questions about what they're supporting. And so I think that they have this organized, I think they have an organization, or maybe multiple, that are dedicated to opposing people like you and me. I believe that's the root cause of when you hear DNC troll. That's what it is. It's somebody that is promoting the DNC, that's telling people, don't you dare rebel, don't you dare question that, or don't you dare question that false flag child that's connected to CNN. Don't you dare question that. And we're showing people how to question that. Every time I do a DNC fraud protest, I'm showing people how I'm doing it, and I'm like, you don't have to like it. You can say whatever you want about it, because my feet are planted firmly on outside of the system, and I'm not going back. I've crossed that line, I've drawn that line, and I'm standing here, and, there could be somebody better that would be prettier on camera and more, educated and whatever, but, I'm the best they got,
You're a saint and a scholar, Sarah.
Now,
now,
what's interesting about this is, as I set this up, as we went into this, I didn't really, my original intentions was to have y'all, give an overview of things. So the impromptu debate that popped up, it actually presented.
Oh, me and Alex debate all the time.
Oh yeah, but it gave a perfect lead in to show just how these secret societies use these teachings and how it is filtered down into us.
Oh shit! I gotta go get my husband.
Oh snickle!
I gotta go get my husband. I'm 20 minutes late.
Oh snickle for it.
Oh my god! I'm sorry. I gotta go, guys.
Okay, Sahara, take care.
Oh my god! Oh my god! He's gonna be so mad.
So
it's hot outside. Okay.
When you go into the Gnostic
we gotta
text,
go, honey.
We go into the Gnostic text. They talk about the creation.
Okay, I'll talk to y'all later, okay?
Yep, bye, Sarah.
I don't know how to get out of here.
I think just hit the end button.
There is no end button. Okay, bye.
Bye. Alright.
So, if I may, I was going to continue what my mindset is. Okay?
Go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and turn you back up. Go ahead.
Okay, right? The reason I was asking about how would you think somebody who's been hiding in an embassy for such a long time What do you think? What do you think would be the best way to do it?
I don't know. Give him freedom.
Okay. He's the president. Pardon.
Interesting.
And then you give him protected status.
Interesting.
And permanent asylum. Let him be in an area where he's protected, able to bring his family over if they want to. But hold him like a national treasure. And what you could do, transfer the WikiLeaks from Britain to the U.S., where they have a lot more protections under free press laws.
Yeah, actually, that would be some sound logic right there. Now, what we gonna do here? Oh, hold on, real quick. Hold on, right fast, cause it backed out on me for a minute on my phone. We're still live, just I gotta fix something on my phone real quick.
I'm gonna do a Sun Tzu quote. Is that okay?
Go ahead. You should know I love to hear Sun Tzu.
My favorite quote from Sun Tzu. It goes like this: "If I determine my enemy's disposition of forces while I have no perceptible form, I can concentrate my forces till the enemy is practiced. The pinnacle of military operation appears to the form. If it is formless, then the deepest spies cannot discern it, nor the wise make plans against it."
Interesting, real interesting, actually.
Basically, what he's trying to say: keep yourself mobile. Make yourself so that the enemy cannot make plans around you, flank you, outmaneuver you. Make yourself as static as you possibly can. And on top of that, protect yourself with your own spies, with counterintelligence, false information, so that they think they have a sense of overconfidence, and then they will flip up time after time, which is kind of funny because that's actually happening right now. You notice that whenever a major establishment gets angry, they start outing themselves, they self-incriminating themselves.
That they do, like no other. Hold on, I'm just trying to...
Like, for instance, like the big thing right now is Pedogate.
There we
right?
go. Yep.
Before this whole thing started, we had no idea about this. It was this myth about the casting couch, right?
Uh-huh.
We didn't know how deep this went.
Not at all.
Fast forward to right now, and this is basically a national tragedy.
It is. Give me just a moment. Let me grab something.
Okay.
Give me just about 2 seconds. Oh, yes. Here we go now. We in here groovy, baby. Alright. See, what they're doing is they've made each one of us, one of these right here, a battery. What they're doing, they're polarizing us. You got left and the right? So you got positive and you got negative. They're making us choose one way or another. And this is powering a circuit. It's powering this system. See, what they took, what they hid from us is the option that we don't have to choose one or the other. We don't have to play their game to exist. We can power our own system. And this is where exiting out of the system comes in at, because if you decide to be your own power source instead of powering something else, what does that make you? That makes you very powerful. And this is what they fear.
Makes you sovereign.
Exactly. And this is what they fear us figuring out. Now, what's interesting about it is, as this debate between you and Sarah popped up, it showed even the small points of assigns all this. But what it does is it illustrates how it's forcing the people to choose one or the other, and not seeing that honestly Both ways, it's some bullshit. It's some controlled opposition to make us choose and stay into this system. That's why, like, when the debate popped up, I'm like, oh, yes. This, like, it just, the opportunity to illustrate this fell right into the lap. I mean...
Now, it's interesting because it shows that there can be a peaceful discord.
Mm-hmm.
We don't always have to have this idea or mentality of people constantly saying you're racist, you're bigoted, I hate you. You just converse.
Oh yeah. You know? I mean, just like I think one of the biggest downfall or roadblocks that we're facing, I mean, with this is so many people seem to think that we need to find a way, one system that's going to fit everybody. And honestly, the truth of the matter is, there is not one system that's going to work for everybody. What we need to do is we need to find multiple systems that we can put together. You know what I mean? And where you got people that want to live this way, in this area. You know what I mean? People that want to live this way in this area. But find ways to incorporate these systems to where they all work together for the benefit of all. There is no one system that's going to make everybody happy. You know what I mean? Just like the saying is you can't please everybody. So one system isn't going to do the job. You know what I mean?
Just no system.
Exactly, no system. I mean, it should be all
like,
all
people
volunteer.
have, people that did anything. The opinion of liberty, the ability to live by yourself as you want.
I mean, and
but that's kind of showing the kind of libertarian philosophy I have in certain cases.
Oh, let it go. Come on, bring it out. You know what I mean? Because this is how we start getting the word out. This is how we start drawing people's attention. You know what I mean? This is how we foster, you know what I mean, stuff like this. We foster these dialogues. I mean, like this whole time in the comments. This whole time in the comments, I mean, we've had people that have been popping in with their opinion. Just like, I'm gonna scroll back. What's interesting is as you and Sarah were talking, you know what I mean, somebody that was watching the feed, they decided to drop, you know what I mean, the information, you know what I mean, that has been either shared with them or they've come across. You know what I mean? And like, here's the comment. His real name also isn't Tommy Robinson. It's Yaxley Lennon, and his father was a Mossad agent, and his family were in MI6, and his uncle was an investor in Blackwater with Eric Prince. See, this is how we start getting all this, and this is how we start getting these.
Ooh, I can build off that. I can build off that really fast.
Come on.
All right. You ready?
Go ahead.
Okay. Who is the current Secretary of Education?
You want me to be honest? I have no clue because it's been so long since I've been.
Her name is Betsy DeVos.
Oh, ain't that like crazy lady? I remember reading something about her. I think she did some like.
She wants to get rid of the current Department of Education because of how crony it is.
All right.
Right. Who is she related to?
Who?
Eric Prince.
Interesting.
They're siblings.
Interesting.
Or they're related by blood, I believe.
Now, what I want to do is Estella Jordan just said, I can't believe people are trying to convince me to support the current president for doing the same others did, bomb people, promise it'll bring peace. I want to say this right now. My intentions have not been at all yet to garnish any support for either one of these political parties. Honestly, though, in the same token, you know what I mean, just because that's, you know what I mean, where I'm at, I can't say that, you know what I mean, that's where the next person is, or, you know what I mean, that's where they feel. But it's also to give people a chance to voice where they're at. You know what I mean, and this is how we all collaborate and get on the same page. You know what I mean, if somebody is supporting Trump and, you know what I mean, they're misaligned, it's going to take these group discussions and formats like this, you know what I mean, for them to be able to get enough information to see where their choice is. Like you heard me earlier talking, Obama's first trip around, I voted for him. The second trip, I didn't vote for him. I didn't vote at all. Now, this last election between Trump and Clinton, I was out there with my voice telling people like, hey, fuck both of these parties. They both some bullshit. But it took me having to go through this and be in, you know what I mean, and be in them type of debates and people to drop knowledge bombs and drop information, and for me to have that hunger to go look for myself to be able to get there. Otherwise, all that happens is we are so instilled with dogmas and this system of dogma that it doesn't register. When something contradicts your belief system, we are programmed to fight against it. It took gaining that open mindset on my end, to be honest.
I can totally respect that. See, let me clarify something. The reason why I am just so pro-Trump, okay? I think this is something I kind of need to explain.
Go ahead.
Because the way he is acting as president, and even before, he never seemed to exhibit key traits between either of those parties. I
totally get that. So I can see, I can see where your mindset is and why you would be like, all right, I'm going to vote Trump. But for me,
it's the whole kind of the thing where Bernie Sanders, right? He's an independent. But he ran under the Democratic Party ticket.
Yeah.
The same thing that Trump did.
Exactly.
He went to the Republican Party, but there's a key reason why they went to the Republican, not the Democrat.
Because let me let you, you know what I mean, say what you feel on that, and then you know what I mean, I'll give you what I've got on that.
Go.
You go ahead first. Go ahead. Oh.
What's that?
I said you want to go ahead first. You want to rock paper scissors for it.
Be my guest. Go ahead.
All right. For me personally, I mean, and this is a long time ago. I remember seeing that episode of The Simpsons where Trump, ran for president. Now, I also have seen the footage from an interview he gave back in the 90s where he said, if I ran for president, I would run as a Republican because they're the easiest group of people to manipulate. For me personally, I recognize that Republican, Democrat, it's a dualistic system. You know what I mean? So me personally, I'm going past dualism. But like I said, this is where my knowledge base is, and as deep as I've delved into the occult arts and things like that. I can't speak for the next person. The only thing we can do is spread, the information we have and let each person get that information. Go ahead. Go ahead, bub.
Oh, so I understand that battery idea, right? And I'm thinking it almost like a form of judo, right? Use that system against it. All right. So we know that the Democrats, in that type of ideology, has its own safeguards to prevent independent candidates or anybody who would be considered an outlier. The other side does not. It doesn't have superdelegates like that.
You're right.
So you would have a less resistance to the primary.
But yeah, now I can see the logic in your statement. But
no, it's not all foolproof, not perfect.
Oh yeah, not at all. I mean, and just as some food for thought, what I'd like to interject is I think one thing that we seem to be overlooking is we keep, and I'm noticing this in a lot of conversations, we refer to the government like they got this right to this power. You know what I mean? And when you really, really, really dig into the founding documents, and our documents are supposed to give us our rights and all that, at the very basis of it, these people don't have rights to power. They get their power because we choose to allow them to do this. So if we're tired of this and we're tired of this system, and we can come together and stand together and say enough is enough, we're not going to vote for no more of this. We're not going to consent to no more of this. They cannot force that upon us. But the thing is they've gotten to a point where they have us so unaware of this and so blinded to the fact that they truly derive their powers from us that they have turned it and they should be scared of us saying no more. We're not giving you no more power. But instead, they've made us afraid of the power that we've given them. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I said, just food for thought. It's food for thought.
Yeah, definitely.
Ooh wee.
And that's I don't know. That's kind of where that's kind of where my mindset's kind of going.
So
Because we have the system that we currently have in place, right? Now these systems are showing their weakness, mainly because they aren't able to function as they usually would be. Like, for instance, let's go economic for a second. We've always believed in the fiat system. You know, paper money and the quality of easy. Now we have something like crypto, who is becoming this thing which kind of circumvents the entire Rockefeller, Rothschild banking system. So completely subverts it. And there's no safeguards about it because they never really conceived that there would be anything that would oppose it.
now,
At least not in any form of competitive way.
now my question is do you know? I got a question. My question is do you know why? But before we jump into that question, it seems that Estella threw 2 questions to you in the comments. So,
Sure.
first she said, do you advocate voting for Republicans already understood to be part of a duopoly?
What's that?
Estella Jordan asked you if you advocate voting for Republicans, and then in parentheses, she said already understood to be part of the duopoly. So I think that's talking about being part of the two-party, like the two sides of the system.
Well, the problem I have with the idea of the duopoly idea is because that's also another form of dogma.
Exactly.
Okay. You know, we have this Marxist idea, right? And I'm using Marxist in the strictest definition of class struggle. We have to hate, or we have to be cautious about how there's power. You know, Democrat, Republican, Libertarian, Green, Christian, Muslim, Jewish. You get what I'm trying to say. We have these labels.
All these labels.
What if somebody were to go with these parties with the most truest intentions? Are they still part of the establishment, or are they trying to use that because it's the easiest way in?
I mean, you
Like,
can see it both ways.
It kind of works.
You could honestly see it both ways.
But the whole idea that we have these parties, we might as well use them as they function. And then when we have people there that we know we can trust, I mean, trust is even, well, you know, we can finally get rid of it, or at least limit the amount of power that they have. So, I would have voted Republican. I would. I have.
And now, her second question is she asked if you changed your stance on party exit. And I guess that you've stated this on posts of hers multiple times. So she's asking if your stance on the party exit has changed?
No. It hasn't whatsoever. I believe there shouldn't be any parties.
Exactly. Now.
But like I'm going to go back to my previous statement.
Go ahead.
Since the system is currently in place, you have to be able to use it for the most advantageous way possible. And then when it runs out of its uses, you get rid of it like a bad habit.
Now,
like right now, you're seeing how the two-party system is basically disintegrating on itself. Once it becomes so powerless to operate, people are going to start dropping it much faster than if it was still useful.
Very interesting. Now,
it's all about making it as useless as possible.
Exactly. Now, we're going to back up a little bit, because before we jumped into her questions, like we came and you had made the comment about, the monetary system. Now, it's interesting because you brought up how, fiat currency is in the decline, and you can see the transition to cryptocurrency. Now, what's interesting about this is the fact that I don't think that publicly widespread enough there is a base understanding of what exactly our monetary system is and what exactly it derives its value from. It'd be like, what? We'll open this up and we'll see. I'm gonna try to illustrate this. In your eyes, what gives our monetary system its value?
Like the paper currency?
Yeah, what paper currency? What gives currency its value in your eyes?
It's universal use. Really?
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a dig one I can dig.
Like the fact that we have this agreement that we're going to use this piece of paper, and it's worth this amount. Now, this has changed over a period of time, because we used to have the gold standard, and used to be able to go to the bank, and $5 worth of gold was $5 worth of gold. With the Federal Reserve and the IRS and all the other fun stuff included with it, they just became notes.
We got to find a new name for the Federal Reserve, because ain't shit federal about that shit.
No, it's a pseudo private organization.
Exactly. Now
it was devised by some of the greatest tycoons of the late 19th, early 20th century.
Oh yeah.
What I mean by greatest, I mean the most crooked.
Oh yeah, crooked as hell. Matter of fact, what's interesting, and I think this is
J.P. Morgan.
I think it was actually you that pointed this out to me. But for those of you listening and following along real quick, here's a quick little, bit of history that they don't teach you in school. They sure as fuck didn't teach this to us. The RMS Titanic and the sinking of
I know exactly what you're doing.
The sinking of the RMS, and like I said, it was you that shared this with me. It was you that brought this up to me.
You mean they have the RMS Titanic?
Go ahead.
Had a lot of anti-Federal Reserve people on it.
Yes,
and
sir.
It just happened to run into an iceberg.
Yes, sir.
Cementing pro-Federal Reserve mentality, allowing Woodrow Wilson to sign the Federal Reserve Bill in December 24th, 2012.
Estella.
And now it's testing me.
It's testing you. Estella, you are absolutely right. See, what we've gotten away from is the very basis of currency. It's a manipulation of energy. See, what they did is they took, a piece of paper, and they gave it a value. They gave these pieces of paper with markings on them value. They established value for them, and now to earn this value, you got to get this. You have to earn it. So now to earn it, you gotta labor for it. So now they've introduced, this concept of instead of bartering in these free trade systems, this is where it is. You gotta work for this system. You gotta perform this work and do all this and earn this money. But it's interesting that we have to earn all of this to earn these paychecks and have to give it right back to pay for the right to exist. Which, this is why, on my end, I title things Diving Deep. Because we're going to take a deep, deep dive and go beyond the surface of things. When you dive deep, when you go to even the religious books and let's say the Old Testament, the supposed creator says his name is the great, basically I am. Which, when he says I am, that was a very, very subtle key secret society reference to energy and law of conservation of energy. Energy is neither created nor destroyed. It always exists.
It's transferred.
You know what I mean? So
The first law of thermodynamics.
So, I mean, when he's like, I am that I am, that's telling you exactly it. Now, last night in a live stream, and actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop the camera down for a minute so I can show a tab real quick. But last night in a live stream, I showed this. I got to find, where do I... Oh, you mugger crickers. All right, that's cool. See, Fair book on this bullet Blarney. So what I got to do real quick is like this. History. Dun, dun, dun. History.
So
Go ahead, Alex, real quick.
So two things that we could do to totally destroy the current system we have economically.
Uh-huh.
A, we have to crash the system. Now, doing this, we have to be very careful because we don't want to create a depression, a recession, stagflation, anything like that. We want to switch it over to the lowest point, and then switch it over to something different. For instance, let's say we go back to the gold standard.
Uh-huh.
Right? Now that it's at its lowest point, there's only one way up, which is people starting to contribute back to the system. Now, the gold standard at least has a lot of merit within it, because at least we have something that we all agree is valuable. It's not like something like we said. Let's say for I got some Pokemon cards here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Each. 50 cents of what? It's just some abstract number.
I think.
If we go to the gold standard.
Mm-hmm.
These are 50 cents of gold.
Interesting.
The best part about it is that limited amount of them. You can't just unlimitedly produce currency.
I guess this would be one of them ones where, like, now I gotta say I respectfully disagree with you because I think that, see, this is where I'm about to have to hit some deep metaphysical and theoretical, things I've come to digest. When we think about reality and existence, for some reason we have this ingrainedness that what we can see and experience with our physical senses is solid and it's solid. And it's not.
It's not.
And this even goes to the basis to how admiralty law really is the basis of everything. Because when they get to talking about the subatomic, they've proven that it's wave function. Now what's interesting is what I'm about to do is I'm about to drop the camera down real quick, but I'm about to show something on the screen. And I showed this last night in my live stream. Now before, and me and you have even talked about this, and I've illustrated how in the Gnostic text, there was a modification of the phrase, in the beginning, the Word was with God, God was the Word. They use the term logos, right? Which people have already, made the connection that logos is frequency, energy, right? But watch this one. We're going to go even deeper into the Gnostic train of thought. And to clearly understand the logos, we can think of the three aspects in man: thought or intent, word or that which holds life, and action or construction. So thought, word, action. If you think it, you will speak it. If you can speak it, you will manifest it.
All men are created in the way of God. We are creators.
Yeah, exactly. We are creators. We are creations. We are creations here in the creation with the ability to procreate and experience it.
Exactly.
Now, Estella, you're right. What exactly do we all agree is valuable? I think this is kind of where this is getting out of this mindset that there has to be a cost to existence. See, they've got us thinking that this is where when you really start being able to digest that law of conservation of energy and realizing that everything always is. Energy always is. I mean, so our views about needing more and more and not being enough, it's really another form of a system of dogma that has been ingrained into us to psychologically mind fuck us and keep us pitted against each other like pit bulls, to be honest. Like I said, that for me, it's I know a lot of my thought processes are so far outside of the norm that at first it sounds like, what in the hell? But when you actually sit down and you can digest it, it's not only more logical than any of the crap that they push at us, but it gives you such a sense of freedom and relief that you can't even put words to it to describe it, to be honest.
That's very 4D thinking.
I mean, it's just amazing. So
I'm wondering if people are familiar with the term 4D or fifth density.
You said fifth density?
Fifth density.
Go ahead and blow the lid on it for people.
Okay, so I'm going to use these Pokemon cards, okay, right?
Alright.
Okay, so I picked up Combi, okay? Anyways. So here, you see this card?
Yep.
Okay, so it's 3D, but fourth density, which means there is a height, a width, and a length.
Mm-hmm.
All right, that's the 3D. Now, 4D is, what if I can manipulate this through time? Make the card degrade or repair itself. Like, let's say I were to rip it apart.
Mm-hmm.
If this was 4D, I could be able to reverse it. See, we can't do that 3D because that would be considered a chemical change. We can't reverse chemical change. We can reverse physical changes of since I physically ripped it, I ripped apart the atomic structure of it. Chemical change within the actual structure of the item. Anyways, that's a total. Anyways, like 5D basically means fifth density is that you can create.
Oh, they done bagged you up again. Oh, they hate letting you talk.
So, best example I can make of it. Okay, so time travel. And we're going to time travel all of a sudden. Okay, here we go. We had to come into this. Okay, so Nikola Tesla, we talked about before. One of his things is saying that everything is energy. And he goes into the ether. Ether is the universe and everything within it. Okay, so like I was saying, that we have the ability to manipulate things spatially, but not time-wise. So once you get fast enough, all of a sudden, spatial and time flip and flop, right? Time becomes 3D. Space becomes 1.
You know, as I'm sitting here listening to you and I'm processing what you're saying, something is striking out at me. And here's what's striking out at me. You said as you get fast enough, right? Well,
yeah.
From what I've come across, I honestly think that space and time travel are honestly accessing consciousness and being able to, shift consciousness. Now,
Exactly.
Now that would be achieved through meditation, but
it's not through any form of propellant.
You said what, Alex?
I said it's not through any form of propellant.
Exactly. So actually, in meditation, it's not about speeding up. It's about slowing down and relaxing and blacking everything out, for lack of better words. It's about delving into total nothingness, into total silence. So it would actually be the opposite of speeding up. It would be slowing down.
So it's gonna be another connection, another side story on top of another side story on top of another side story. This is something that I have a habit of doing. I apologize.
Oh, you're good. You're good.
Quantum entanglement.
The Christian
I'll
doctrine
go
of
quantum.
prayer.
Okay. Okay. Let's say I have 2 ping pong balls. That sounded like it was a little off. Okay, so 2 ping pong balls in my hand, and they're quantum entangled. Okay, now it's slowing down.
You're welcome, Sarah. Thank you for coming in, Sarah.
Okay. Definitely, it was great to see you, Sarah. So we have the two ping pong balls, right? If they're quantum entangled, they have the same beat, the same motion, everything. They are basically in synchronized form. Now, a desk in front of me, and I toss the other one to Pluto. Okay? Even though it's so far away, they're still going to hit the same beat over and over again in perfect synchron. The problem we have here is that we think that we have to break the speed of light. The fastest point between the fastest speed between 2 points is 0.
Perfect balance. Perfect balance.
But, yeah. Yes, exactly. Since we had this quantum entanglement idea with quantum physics, we had to be able to quantum entangle. That's how teleporter works. That's how a lot of things that do with matter manipulation and physics works. And now we're realizing that actually works in real life. We're able to move atoms from one side of the group to the other without any with any form of energy being used. In fact, we're transferring it over.
Interesting.
Kind of like a USB.
Exactly like a USB, which interesting about this is as we dive into quantum entanglement and we get to talking about quantum physics and things of this nature, it's interesting because this has been around for so long and so many people, missed the blatant rebranding of this. When you look at it, the definition of quantum physics is the same definition that Aleister Crowley gave of magic, M-A-G-I-C-K. He said that magic is the science and art of causing change to occur with conformity to will. So change would be an action, a manifestation, in conformity with will. Will would be your thought. So awareness, observation. Any
sufficient technology. Any sufficiently advanced technology, they just say magnet.
Yeah. Which, interestingly, we're finding all this archaeological evidence and showing that, magnets were used in things. So it's common sense to know that what we've been told are ancient societies also had electricity, because what's the flip side of magnetism, Alex?
Electricity.
Exactly. I mean, everything's dualistic. So
Electrogravitics.
there we exactly. Here we go.
And should we even talk about the fact that electrogravitics overrides anything that has to do with speed? It basically breaks all laws about speed.
Oh, it does.
Because they don't have to deal with wind resistance or anything that had to do with a single making something go in. Sorry, my mind's like frying on me for a second.
Go ahead.
Okay, so we deal with wind resistance. We deal with every type of resistance that has to do with something going forward. Now, with electrogravitics and electromagnetism, since it's not going down with gravity and it's not going against the wind in the traditional sense, it goes faster because it doesn't have stuff against it. Which is the difference between, let's say, a regular train and a maglev train.
Ooh, good one. Good one.
And how if two things that are of the same polarity, they will levitate on top of each other, and they will constantly stay away from each other, no matter what things have in play.
Hello.
The only downside to this is if it's extremely cold, they will start attacking one another.
All right. Oh,
but besides that, they
oh yeah, I hear my wife behind me yawning, so we're gonna wrap this one up. But we have hit on some topics for the next ones. Listen, people, y'all see what it is. We gonna be out here a lot busting, but no, we got hella topics. I mean, we gonna be able to show y'all. I mean, like the various media. Reports and things about what's going on in Antarctica. All types of so-called theoretical sciences. We'll be able to show y'all that this is not theoretical at all, but in all actuality, this technology is actually old and been had. They just haven't released it to us. They've kept it away from us.
May I argue?
Go ahead.
Pseudoscience is real science. Real science, pseudoscience.
Hell yeah. I mean, the science that they pass off as real is honestly a bunch of bullshit used to hogwash and manipulate us. But thank y'all for...
Because you've not in the law.
Oh, yeah. I mean, thank you, Alex, for being here tonight. Thank you, Sarah, for coming on tonight.
No problem.
Deb, thank you for talking Sarah in. And thank all y'all. I mean, you can catch us on... you can catch and stay up with everything on Mimi News, Syndicates of Mass Awareness. I've got a Wix site up, titled Diving Deep. We'll go ahead and get a post together over the next day or two, and we'll drop all the links to everything in there. How to contact everybody and all the sites. It's been a wonderful stream, y'all. Take care, and we will talk to everybody soon. Hi, Alex.
Bye now.
Let's see, where's what I'm looking for? And there.